Hello, everybody. You are now listening to the Overflow Podcast with Jae and Joaquin. Welcome. Wick. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Overflow Podcast. As always, I am Joaquin, a.k.a. The Apostle.
Yeah.
And with me, as always, is
Jay, just a lowly, humble pastor.
this the lonely, humble pastor. Now, if anybody's watching, you might be wondering, why do I have the hoodie on? Because it is Brick City in Georgia.
Yo, you want to know something? It's cold down here, too. I had to turn the heat on.
Bruh, right now in Georgia, right now it's 36 degrees.
It's not that.
No, it's 36 degrees, and every hour it's dropping a degree.
Not that.
So
Here, I woke up to 50, and then it went up as high as 60.
so
Right,
So
which is
when-
Florida. So
right. So
Like-
when I walk out the door,
tonight is dropping to like the mid 40s. So I put the heat on for the fam.
so when I walk out the door tomorrow morning at 5, it's gonna be 27.
Damn. I got nothing to say, but damn.
So
Oh,
Brick City in Georgia tonight. So with all that, let me take off the let me oh, it's getting hot. There we go.
because of that, I also have a hoodie on. Right? Because I'm like, yo, like it's cold out today. Like what's going on? What's really good?
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
I joined St. Pete Dream Center tonight. So when I texted you earlier about, sitting with the kids and saying goodnight, I had just walked in from doing outreach with
Gotcha.
St. Pete Dream Center. And we went, so it's interesting how when we moved here, we went to do outreach, we designated the specific park, right? You've been there with us, to do outreach,
Right.
to learn later that the St. Pete Dream Center also does outreach at that same park. But they go Tuesday nights and we go Saturday nights. So telling the guy that's over the St. Pete Dream Center, so yeah, that's my park. Like, these are my people. Right? Like they know me. These are my people. And just like I said, all right, we get there. Today, so you see how Puerto Ricans work. Today, he asked me to preach, to share, right, to give a reflection.
Okay.
So I did. It was a big crowd. So he does it the way they do it at the Safe House in Atlanta, except that he doesn't have a building anymore. So we did it outside. So everybody was out there, just collected. And I came, introduced myself. A lot of people, hey, Pastor Jay. What's up, Pastor Jay? Right? Because it's the same park and we have relationship there. Because they don't do what we did. So they just do that. Like they gather, they do a reflection, and then they feed. Whereas we go and we make it personal, right? We walk over to everybody and offer things and then offer pray for them. So we build relationship, whereas they helicopter in. But it's weekly, so they're familiar and people know them.
Right.
But it's not on that one-on-one like with us. So Rick was there. Yvonne, the older lady, was there. The Chinese guy, remember Joe? And I was like, bro, like I know you. It's like, oh no, I don't think we've met. It's like, Joe, right? And he was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, we met. Like we were here last time. You were with a group of people at the wall at the church, and we prayed for you guys. And he was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh man, thanks so much. Like, he's like, thanks for this. Like, no, this isn't me. I'm invited to this. This is them. Right. But it was dope. It was dope. It was dope. So we're gonna be partnering up, and where we're providing prayer and health kits, the health kits and the relationships. They are bringing the food, and they give out blankets. Today I told them, hey, I'm gonna go get some socks because it's cold. And oh, that's a great idea. Don't worry about it, Pastor. I'll get it. So they went and they brought socks. Yeah, they brought underwear. It was actually something you don't think about, but it was dope.
Right.
Right. But then now I'm sitting here like worried because it's cold. But apparently the cold shelters don't open unless unless it's colder, basically.
Right.
So tomorrow I'm going to the church to talk to the pastors, the one that we're partners with, to see if we have to follow the city or can we just get started on our own, because it gets cold. Oh, I bought packets and gave out the hand warmers.
Right.
Right. So they brought gloves for people. Right. And then I was giving them hand warmers. Like, you put them in your pockets and they'll keep you warm, or put them in the gloves. Right. We're giving out gloves, put them in the gloves. Right. If it gets hot, put them in your shoe. Right. It's like, put them in your shoe,
Right.
and it'll warm up your feet. And like, here you go, 2 packs. And they're like, really? It's like, yeah, I used to do this. So like, here you go. It was dope, man. It was dope. It was dope.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the big thing with the cold is you want to cover your feet, your hands, and your head.
Right.
That's where all the heat
But
escapes.
they brought in thermal socks, the high ones. I had those the little hot packs. I think it's called hot hands. And they had gloves, and they brought they brought a bunch of Scullies, like what you're wearing now, a bunch of Scullies, which gave me the idea. You can get some legacy Scullies just to hand out. And then the people who knew me came to me specifically, right? Because I think they brought 7 people, so they were doing overall prayers and praying for people. Hey, anybody wants prayer? But like, there was relationship, right? So
Right.
Rick, hey, Jay, my dad again. Can you help me pray for my dad again? And then Yvonne came. Oh, where's your wife? Because they're the ones that really connected. Oh, I need prayer for this. Can you pray for that? So it was dope. It was dope. The interesting thing also, para que tú veas, Rick walked around and was telling people about us as legacy, right? This is Pastor Jay. Like, you can, like he was like co-signing me, basically.
Right.
He's genuinely a good guy. Him and his wife and their kids and their team, they come and they help and they genuinely care. They remember you. They remember what's going on. Like, he was like out there, like co-signing us, and I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. You don't realize the impact that you
Right.
make on people, because we're here to build relationship, and we think that relationship is built daily, right? When they talk about discipleship, oh, it's a daily thing, right? We go there once, maybe twice a month, and it's that impact, right?
Right. Well, it's like anything, right? It's consistency.
Yeah.
Right. In everything, right? Working out, dieting, relationships, whatever, right? It's just consistency. Gotta show up. You gotta show up. You gotta show up. But that's no, man, that's dope. Uh that's dope. So speaking of feeding people, how was your Thanksgiving this year?
Bruh, we had, I'm not sure if it was 22 or 23. What number did I give you? 24. We were expecting 26 people.
You told me 22.
All right, 22. Yeah, 22 people. We expected 26 people. My cousin texted me 2 days before that everybody in his house got sick, like throwing up, all the stuff. So he wasn't, I don't think we're gonna know the day before. I don't remember, but he called and said he wasn't.
Right.
Oh, they weren't coming, and that was 5 because it was him, his wife, 2 kids, and then his mother-in-law. So that was 5 people right there that didn't show up. But then JR, right, who you know up in Atlanta, he showed up with 2 people.
Nice.
Right? He showed up with 2 people, and then somebody else showed up with 2 people as well. So, like, we still had over 20 people. Oh, and then the girls from Atlanta that came last year, that we met last year,
Right.
showed up with 1 person. Right? So it was dope. I'm not even gonna front. It was dope. There was a lot of food. There was no leftovers of the good stuff. Right? So the pernil was gone, ham was gone, turkey. Um, what else? What else? What the arroz con gandules was gone. Like all the good stuff was gone. It was sucked too because Magda made pierogi, right? And she had some dough set aside for the leftover pernil to make pernil pierogi that night after everybody left. It's nothing. Nothing.
Nice.
It was one of those things where I was like happy and pissed.
Right.
It's like I was happy because like, yo, they ate all my stuff. Yeah. But then I was like, yo, they ate all my stuff. Because I'm used to doing omelets with the pernil and all this stuff that they
Right.
for breakfast the day after. And then the pernil pierogi, I'm like, yo, come on, man. And Mayao. And then
That's what's
afterwards, we all went to the living room and we played they call it charades, but it's not charades. It's that game where you hold up the word, where you have the word on your head, and then people have to give clues or you have to guess what it is. That's not charades. This generation is confusing games. But we all played that, and it was fun. It was fun. I had my childhood friend who's with the Tampa Opera. Vanessa, she showed up with her dad, who I haven't seen since I was a kid. Right. And of course he's older, but it was so dope seeing him just reminiscing and talking. And he's like, I remember you like being, he didn't say bad. He would say travieso. Right. Oh, be little travieso in church with your brother.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah. And then I FaceTime mom so that they can talk. Right. Because they were old friends. It was dope. How was yours?
It was good, man. I came home from work and the house is full. You know, my right, my family, my parents, my sisters, my in-laws, their kids, they brought a couple of friends. I mean, yeah, so it was packed out. I know we had some this pork loin that my mom made. You know, Jenny made the turkey bomb. We had sweet potato casserole.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that too. I didn't get any.
We had Becca made this like fancy three cheese, three cheese beer macaroni and cheese. Yes.
Sounds intriguing, but bad.
Bruh.
Oh, I mean coquito too.
I don't I don't like macaroni and cheese. I have a macaroni and cheese block in my head from when I was a kid. Right?
That's right. That's right.
Right? If you tell me, yo, we got mac and cheese, I'm like, I'm not interested. It's homemade. Don't care. You tell me you got cheesy macaroni or cheesy pasta. Hey, we got cheesy pasta. I'm in. Right? It's a weird, right? Block of my head, man.
It's it's the it's the inner turmoil between the Puerto Rican in you and the colonizer in you struggling.
It's like,
like the Puerto Rican in you, oh cheese, yeah. The colonizer, oh macaroni and cheese, oh
yeah, man. So it's like this,
oh
so it's like this
oh,
bougie this bougie mac and cheese my sister made, right? It was, and here's how you know it was good.
What are the three cheeses?
I don't know, but they're like fancy cheeses. But here's how you know it was good. There was none left,
I mean, Becca can cook.
right?
Not even. I'm not even gonna lie. Like she's great, baking, cooking. Like she's dope.
Yo, like so, like we had no leftovers. All we had was a little bit of arroz con gandule, and which my mom made. So Becca made a salad, one of her bougie salads, bomb, right? It had persimmon, that
Persimmon.
right? Like she had that fruit cut with it with like some goat cheese and bacon, and that was bomb. So
Very,
my
very Polish fruit, by the way.
so when Becca fried the bacon, mom's scooped up all the grease and poured it in the rice.
For the arroz con gandules?
For the arroz con gandule.
Nice.
So
We
like
have we have vegetarians with us, so we didn't have
so you didn't tell them that you poured the bacon grease in the arroz con
we
gandule.
didn't use the bacon grease, and we didn't put the smoked ham in the arroz con gandules this year.
Whack. So that was, and then Rocky made a pumpkin cheesecake,
Okay.
bomb. Mom's made a flan de queso, bomb, and a pumpkin flan.
How was the pumpkin flan?
It was good because it's not a heavy pumpkin, right? It's like just a slight, like a really light flavor. It was good though.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
made regular flan, and I was contemplating making a flan de queso, but I was also contemplating trying to make a pumpkin flan. But as soon as I mentioned it, I told Magda, "Baby, what if I try a pumpkin flan?" She was like, "Nope." I was like,
Nah,
okay.
it was good. It was good. You know what, man? Flan de queso for me, that's it. Like, forget regular. Flan de queso is like the flan to eat.
I have to. I wanna bake one. I wanted to do a dulce de leche flan. Um, but Magda, when I bought the little dulce de leche condensada thing, like
Shit.
and Magda was like, "Ooh!" Opened it up, poured it on the apple because she made the Polish apple cake, right, with the 5 pounds of shaved apples, like it's like,
Right.
and then she was like, "Oh, this should be good." So she poured it as icing over the over the apple cake, and it was I was mad, but it was delicious.
Right. Right.
I was
You
like,
ruin.
"Oh, the
It's
fun!"
like you ruin everything to make it taste better.
Right, and then yeah. So I'm gonna have to buy another one so I can make a flan with it. But I also want to try to make coquito with it.
Okay. My mom's made a coquito turron.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. We were there that year.
Okay. Oh, it was good. It was good.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was it, man. Thanksgiving was bomb diggy. Had a lot of fun. Uh, so now I'm I think 19 days till the cruise, and then I'm off
That's right. You're going on a cruise. Where? When are you leaving?
the week before Christmas, 16th.
Oh, you suck. When you get back?
Uh, I I get back. We get back on the at midnight. No, we get back at almost midnight or at midnight, right after midnight on the
Just give
24th. On the 24th. So we get back.
complicated. Just give me a day.
We get back on the 24th.
All right. So that works because I'm up there. I'll be up there on the 22nd. I'm up in Georgia on the 22nd. So I was
Okay.
just thinking of, but not just getting together, but also doing a podcast and together.
Word. Yeah, we get back the 24th, and then I'm right back to work on the 25th.
Yeah, of course you are, because it's Christmas. It's time and a half.
Easy money.
Yeah, all right. So we'll figure it all out.
Yeah.
We'll
Word.
figure it all out. Like I'll probably do the week you're gone. I'll probably just maybe do an episode with Juice
Yeah.
to attack some of this music stuff. Maybe we'll talk about the D1 stuff.
Oh. I'll save up my internet minutes on the ship and call in.
That's gonna be wild. Juice and I talking about, because he's a big D1 fan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. When we met him, I forgot when and where, but when we met him, they really hit it off.
Wasn't it Flavor Fest when we went?
Was it? Perhaps.
That's the first time I remember hearing about him. And I think that was
Yeah.
when.
So then maybe that's it. I know they really hit it off. Like he got his number and everything, which of course he never used. But
Right.
but they really hit it off. So maybe, I don't know. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him, or maybe Joel. Who knows? Or maybe the three of us.
I mean, yeah, man. You can't. You got to include me in on that one.
Nah, you enjoy your cruise, son.
Not fair. Not fair. That's fine.
You enjoy your cruise, man. Be good. Be good.
I will be enjoying my cruise.
Superman's watching.
That's right. So that's kind of where we're at. So got a couple of things we got to hit right as we kind of dive into kind of what we want to hit on today. So kind of interesting stuff. Number one, gotta give a nod. Rosalynn Carter passed away.
Bless up, Rosalynn Carter.
Jimmy Carter's wife. She was 96.
Yes.
She was 96 years old. He's 99. And honestly, forget the politics, right? Forget all that. Yo, they were married for like 77 years.
Word. And if you for our 5 people that listen to us on a regular basis, 3 of them, being family. We've talked about Jimmy Carter many times on this podcast. Not because we're such great fans of him as president or his politics, because when he was president, we were both babies. So, right, as far as our recollection, Reagan was our first president. But Jimmy Carter, we talked about him a lot because he's been in and out of the hospital a few times for like the last 2 years.
Right.
And that's what we were talking about. We were discussing whether or not we were going to talk about this. It was the fact that he was in the hospital, and it was his wife who would ask people for prayer for her husband because he's in the hospital, who would be there to welcome him home, right, whenever he got home. And every time that we thought, this might be it. Yep. This might be the time that Jimmy Carter goes home. No, he got home, and his wife.
He went home. He didn't go home, but he went home.
He went home to his Georgia home, and he was always there for Sunday to teach Sunday school, except for that one time that he was in the hospital over the weekend, right? But now she went home. She went home first, right? So it's sad. It's sad. I mean,
yeah, but
just
look,
that.
Yeah, I mean, but not for nothing. Like 77 years, bro. Like that's.
Yeah, that'll never happen with me.
right? That'll never happen with it. Maybe if me and you combine the years, we
Too
we might get to like 10. I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I'm too old. I think we hit 13 years next year.
Yo, so well, me since I'm gonna be I'll celebrate what 3 years this June. Yeah, this next June will be 3 years. So we're accelerating, right? So like, when we hit 5 years, it's gonna be like 10,
I mean,
right?
it feel like that, but that's not that's not what it's gonna be.
For her more than me, right? For Jenny more than me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I drive her crazy.
Oh,
Um,
I know that too.
but yeah, so we're gonna give a shout out.
You know, I mean, yeah. I mean, lift him up in prayer because
He's gonna. We've all heard this, like we've all read the stories, right? When people have been together that long, usually when the first one leaves, the second one follows them.
and that's what I was trying
I'll
not to.
say it. I'll say it. It's not a
Yeah, yeah, but it's sad, right? It's sad because it's like now he must be at that place where hospital, he's fighting to live, and he's probably fighting to live to come home to her, fighting to live, and then now she's gone. So he wants to go home. He wants to be with his wife, right?
well. I was reading that they have him in hospice care, so he's in hospice care.
Mm.
So this is, why hold on, right? Like your wife is gone. You've lived this extraordinary life,
And it's kind of hard because he's 99, right?
right? You lived an extraordinary life. Your body is failing you. And I say this, right? Like, let go home.
Go home, go to paradise. Your wife is waiting for you with the Lord,
Yeah,
right?
man. No need to hold on, Mr. President Jimmy Carter. Um, but yeah, man. So that's
Lift prayers up for Jimmy Carter and for the family,
and his
right?
family. Yeah.
And for the family, because it's so interesting, and I learned this when my dad passed away, and it's something that I'll probably stay forever learning because a friend of mine's aunt passed away last week, and I'm talking to him and trying to console him and talk to him about it, but she was also a believer, he's a believer, and it's strange because those that have no hope, right? They mourn like those that have no hope. We that have a hope in Christ that will see our loved ones again, right? We're in this juxtaposition between mourning and celebration, right?
Right.
Because mourn because of the impact, like the love that we lost, the connection that gets cut off. But we celebrate because of that hope that we have in seeing them again, right? So
Right.
it's this strange dichotomy of being both sad and happy, right? So,
Right.
but yeah, just pray for Jimmy Carter and pray for their family.
So we're gonna take this and we're gonna kind of flip it to something lighter. We have to comment on this. It would be malpractice if we didn't. Yes, we do because you sent it to me and I watched it.
Did I?
And you did. So Jay,
I
so
know what you're talking.
Jay, yeah. So Jay goes and sends a trailer to this movie, right? We said that as we kind of make the shift, but we're still gonna kind of throw out, things that kind of catch our attention. And um, the
Okay,
time that
first, hold on. Let's preface this with the fact that Joaquin and I are very proud Latinos, right? We are very
yes,
proud Hispanics, right? We are both Boricua, him born on the island of Puerto Rico,
that's
me
right.
born in New York City. Um, right? But we're both very proud Puerto Ricans, right? We carry our flags. We speak the language. We love the food. We love the culture. We love the music. We love everything. And it's not just Puerto Ricans, right? We love all Latinos, like all Latinos. Like even the song says, "Dime si son Latinos," right? We are all like we love all the cultures and the food of all Hispanics, right? So it's like a Latino wins, we feel that pride because we're all Latinos. A
Right.
Latino loses, we point and make fun of them because we're all
Right.
Latinos. Right? That's just a
Espe-
Latino thing.
right. Right. Especially if they're not Puerto Rican. But that's neither here nor there. Right, like that comedian said, you're right, Puerto Ricans think we're the best because we're
Yeah.
citizens.
Somebody told me today. Somebody told us, "Hey, Pastor Jay, come here. I have a question." I was like, "What's up?" It was at the park. Say, "What's louder than two Puerto Ricans in a room?" And I was like, "I don't know." She said, "Nothing." Because you have more than one Puerto Rican, you'll never hear yourself think or get a word in edgewise. I said, "Nah, you're wrong. You know what's louder than two Puerto Ricans in a room?" She was like, "What? Three Puerto Ricans in a room."
Yeah. Yeah, whenever three Puerto Ricans in the room, my Apple Watch, the loudness meter goes off.
Right. So,
All right.
with that being said,
So with
taking
that being said,
with that being said,
uh
please
Jay
continue.
Jay sent a trailer called How the Gringo Stole Christmas, starring George Lopez. And he's the only actor in the whole trailer that I even recognized.
Okay, so in my defense, I sent that trailer and I didn't send the follow up comment. Uh, the comment was two parts. The comment was, "Look at this trashy movie, but the gringo is Val Kilmer's son."
Oh,
That
Iceman.
is what caught my attention. That's Batman's son.
Ice Cube.
Right? So I'm like, yo, I didn't know that Batman's son was acting. Right. So I was like, yo,
Oh,
this movie's crap. But that's Batman's son. I just, I got distracted and I forgot to to add that.
right. And so I'm like, oh, okay, George Lopez. It might be funny. Oh, that was a garbage trailer. It looked like a Hallmark movie.
No, that's an
I J,
insult to movies.
J, that looked like one of those 99-cent movies you buy at the dollar store.
At the store. That looked like it was an indie movie made by the giant shoulder video cameras from the 90s.
Oh my gosh. And I'm sorry. That trailer was the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, Jason, I'm like, this is pretty racist because in the whole movie, the whole trailer, the only person that's stealing Christmas is George Lopez, his character. I mean, it was bad.
Bro, it was the overblown stereotypes of like the 80s movies, right?
It
The
had
stereotypes of the 80s movies, right? The Mexicans had to be racist gangsters, right? Had to be racist. And then on top of being racist, the ones that were outside had to be gangbangers. And then the good-looking Latino had to be gay, right?
right.
Right?
That's right.
And the only problem that George Lopez had against this guy was the fact that he's white,
Right.
right?
That's
And
it.
that's it. It wasn't like, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like,
Yeah, it's not like he showed up, like the white guy showed up and and committed some kind of faux pas, like right off.
right. It wasn't like he came and he was full of himself and stuck up and didn't want to go inside the house because it was dirty, or was trying to say hola, yo soy, or yo soy llamo. Like, it was nothing. Like, he came, he went, meet the family, and to ask for her hand in marriage. That's the whole movie right there. You don't even need to see it.
That's it.
And no, because you're a gringo, you're a white guy. And oh my gosh, the quality, everything, the story is a tired story. The plot, tired plot, reuse, rehash, right? It's trash. The quality of the movie, the filming, like, trash.
It looked trash. Yep.
And then I'm like, yo, like, my daughter, my oldest daughter, Mimi, she's dating a gringo, right? I went up to New York and I was like, hey, I got time after my flight. Let's go. Let's all get lunch. Call that guy. I want to meet this guy. Right?
Right.
Everybody on social media knows that you're in love with this guy. I think it's time that I finally meet the guy that's around my grandson and around my daughter. Right? Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll tell him. He's going to get nervous, but be nice. I'm going to be nice. As long as he's nice to you, I'm going to be nice. Right? We sat, we had lunch, we talked. Great guy. Right? It wasn't like, hey, oh, hola, Senor Padre there. None of that. Like, hey, what's going on? Nice to meet you. Right? We kept it regular. We kept it 100. Right? Like, I don't understand. Yo no comprendo. But
yeah, it was.
I think they could have done. I think they should have done better. Like, a better story. A better story. A way of highlighting the culture without making us all look like buttholes.
Right. Well, not us, the Mexicans, because we got our own movie.
We got nothing like the holidays.
We got nothing like the holidays.
And then the fact that like I told you when we talked about this, it looked like that movie was done by George Lopez's nephew, and he started it as a favor to his sobrino, right? Just, okay, I'll help you with your movie, sobrino. Right? And he got paid here.
Yep. So, needless to say, watch the trailer and just be in awe of how bad it is.
We will have the link to the trailer below.
We're gonna get those numbers up.
And this is one of those times where, like Joaquin said earlier. Oh yeah, when I say, and if it's Latino and you mess up, then we'll point and laugh at you, especially because you're not Puerto Rican.
Especially.
And after that, watch Nothing Like the Holidays, so you can
if
see
you want to
a movie about a Puerto Rican Christmas that has the stereotypes, right? It has the us talking loud, like we're fighting and all that, but it's done in a way that is not super focused and overblown, right? It's not exaggerated.
Right. And then there's, the brother married to the white girl, and the mom being it's kind of like, the girl tries and, but it's not like mean spirited, right? It's
right.
It's watch it. Nothing Like the Holidays.
I mean, that's the movie that I put on
every year.
I mean, you watch it every year, but that's the movie that I put on for the wife. It's like, hey, it's the holiday season. You need to know how Puerto Ricans get. Let's watch this movie so you can learn how Puerto Ricans get.
I showed that movie to Jenny, our first Christmas together. We're dating, and I said, "This is how Puerto Ricans be." Because Jenny, comes from they're quiet. They're quiet people.
They're quiet Latinos.
They're quiet Latinos. They're not, they're not like two cats in a, two cats in a sack fighting like we are.
Crabs in a barrel.
So loud. So that's that. All right, number dos. All right, so they're going to talk about a couple things that happened that caught our attention. Number one was this video clip that we saw on Instagram.
Oh, no.
The actor Neal, I never get his last name right.
McDonough.
McDonough. Neal McDonough. Now, he's one of these actors that you've seen him in a lot of different things. and he always seems to be the bad guy. Um, he had a pretty good, nice run on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, on the Flash. It started in the Flash, right?
And on the Flash. Um, but in it, he's talking about how uh, he wouldn't do any scenes where he would kiss another woman or do a sex scene. And I think
He went.
even
That's deep, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, no nudity, no sex, but he went as far as, yo, I'm not even gonna kiss another woman.
right, because like the only woman, my lips are for is my wife, right?
Right.
And so because of that, he says that he, in effect for like 2 years, I think, he was blacklisted, right? In other words, he wasn't getting hired because he would not compromise on those things, right? Not gonna do anything that, right, is gonna portray me in a relationship, right, as far as like the kissing and the sex stuff and all that stuff with another woman, because that's reserved for my wife.
Right.
And so he talks about how he almost didn't work at all for 2 years,
Yeah.
right?
Instead, would blackballed him.
Yeah.
They wouldn't work with him.
Now, mind you, this guy was on like Band of Brothers, right?
Which is the movie or the series, right?
Yeah, series.
The series where he met his wife.
Ah, I did not know that.
Yeah. He met her while filming Band of Brothers.
Betty Nice.
Betty,
So,
Betty.
so we find that interesting because
A lot of great things, right? Band of Brothers, Minority Report, like we said, The Flash, and then he started as a villain in The Flash, became almost like a good guy in Legends of Tomorrow. He was on Suits, a show that Joaquin and I used to watch back in the day, and I had to watch it all over again, not until recently, right? So it's been a few. Sorry, I'm looking, and right now he's in the movie The Shift, where he plays the devil.
right,
Apparently, The Shift is like a modern retelling of the story of Job, and he plays the devil, right? Which, according to him, playing the devil brought him even closer to God than he was before, right? So you see him, you know who we're talking about, right? You
yeah,
know who he right. So you've seen it like, I know that guy somewhere. I've seen that guy in something, right? But he's always the villain, and he said that he always played the role of the villain, or he always took the role of the villain because the villain in movies, TV show, on TV shows, never had a love interest. They were
right,
just being the villain, right? Being the bad guy,
right,
so it wasn't a villain with the love interest. He didn't have to do sex scenes or whatever. He just had to be the bad guy, right?
right.
So, which is like pretty pretty genius, right? Get
Yeah,
typecast as the bad guy and then always be the bad guy and everything. Be remembered to
always be
be,
the bad guy.
and you don't compromise on your faith and on your convictions doing so. But it's interesting to me, or to us, that he put he drew two lines, right? He drew two lines in the sand. One was the line of his Christian faith, right? And the second line was that of honoring his wife.
Right.
And he lost work because of it. And now it seems like it's just the parallels, just like Job. He is being blessed, right, with all of these roles and parts and all these things, and now he's doing faith-based movies, and he has a company with his wife, right, where they're going to start making movies, or they've started already. It's interesting because this is the stance I believe that we all should make, right? We we put, see, I've been since I've been on this path of church planting, I've realized two things. I realized that when we say we don't have enough faith, we're lying to ourselves, and we're using that as an excuse, because we all have faith, right? Whether you have faith in God or you have faith in your dog, we all have faith. What we don't have is trust in God, right?
Right.
And God wants us to trust Him, right? Abraham trusted God when He told him, leave your home and everything you're familiar with to a place that I'll show you. Never told him where he was going or where to go. Just told him, leave. I'll let you know along the way. Right. And it's like we don't have enough trust, right? The trust to take Isaiah up, knowing, hoping that God would provide a way, which He did. Right? We don't have the trust needed to walk out the faith in God that we say that we have. And this guy put his trust in God.
Right.
Put his trust in God. He drew the line. He let them know, and it cost him his work. It cost him jobs. He got. It's not just that. Oh no. Oh, I can't take that role because, it has a sex scene, and I'm not going to do a sex scene. He was blacklisted. That means one person got upset and put his name for all of the studios in Hollywood.
Right.
Do not with this man.
Right. And even in there, he said, it took an emotional toll. It took, right, because he's like, hey, where's, I'm doing this, and where how are you taking care of me, God? Right. He kind of talked about that. So I think that, what's I think what's great about like that clip and him talking about that is, if you're going to have faith in God, and you're going to have a conviction, and you're going to say, I follow Jesus, you have to be prepared for the cost, right?
You don't want to pay the cost right now.
Right. And the thing is that, yeah, he came out at the other end where these other opportunities for him to act have come up. But what if they didn't? Right. It's not always I'm gonna stand on my convictions and my faith in God, because then on the back end He's gonna bless me. You might not get blessed on the back end. You might get blessed when you're dead and you in heaven. Right.
Your children might get blessed. Might not even be you. It might even be seen in your generation, right?
Right.
Your children might get blessed. But he did this. He did, the Daniel 3:17, right? But even if God does not save us, we want you, O king, to know that we will not serve your gods or worship the statue, right? He let him know, this is my beliefs. These are my convictions, right?
Right.
So even if you won't give me work, or I won't work in this town ever again, I need you to know that I still won't worship. I still won't worship the money that you throw at me, right? And I still won't worship the gold statue.
Right.
Right. So like he let him know. And he says, like, like people in Hollywood, like they just hated him, they made fun of him. And that that is known as persecution. Right? It cost him. Like Joaquin said, it cost him. And we like to say that that we're persecuted because we went to a church leader with an idea of opening a Christian nightclub and we weren't taken seriously. We were told, oh, that's not a good idea. We don't know about that. We got to pray about that. Let's talk about that. Oh, being persecuted, because I feel that this is a good idea, and there was no cost. But this guy paid a cost.
Right.
He paid a
Right. So
go ahead, did that.
You did that. So why don't you go ahead and unpack
Right. So
that?
The Christian nightclub thing was purposely set in there because this time Joaquin sent me an Instagram post of this couple in LA who claim that God told them to open a Christian nightclub where Christians can go to and have fun and dance and network and fellowship and do all those things that Christians apparently
don't do in church.
Don't do at church or can't do because Christians ain't out there clubbing, and Christians ain't out there going to bars, and Christians ain't out there smoking weed, and Christians ain't out there having fun. Now, let me do a pro and a con.
All right.
Okay. The pro, I understand the idea.
Correct.
Right? And I'll explain why after Joaquin gives his input. The con is I do not believe that God told you to do that. I don't believe you. I don't believe them when they say God told us, or God told my husband, or God told me, right? Because I don't think God would tell somebody, hey, go start a Christian nightclub. So Christians that are bored and don't have fun because being a Christian is boring can go and shake it to Christian music, right? Because let's be completely real. And as somebody that is in the industry, we know that you can dance to non-Christian music, to Christian music, the same way that you can dance to non-Christian music.
Yes. And
the Christian music the same way that you can shake to non-Christian music.
Oh, especially because I remember when you did Club ATL. I remember one night, I'll never forget, we had to send the security guys to go break up these couples. Yeah, because they were dirty dancing.
I was gonna get to that later. So Joaquin let the cat out of the bag.
I don't care. That's too funny.
No, it's hilarious. So what the reason why I'm like, all right, I see it, but I don't, is because we did this years ago, man. Like, this isn't something new. We did this years ago. And
not just us, right? I mean, people our age.
Yeah. It's been done. But we had Club ATL at Discover Mills Mall in Gwinnett County, Georgia. And it was called Club ATL, but it was really just, they were really just outreach concerts. Right? We had artists, hip hop artists. We had a rock band, hip hop crunk band. Remember that? Crunk rock band. That we would invite weekly and do concerts. And myself and Joaquin would be the DJ. And I would go, I would also perform. And I would preach. And it was a place, like a neutral place, because a lot of gangbangers from opposing gangs would show up and they would meet Jesus in that place. And we, that was where they debuted remember the Holy Hip Hop documentary. Woo. Right? Club ATL. A lot of stuff happened there. A lot of Jesus happened there. But there was one night that we had a reggaeton artist and there were people dancing what we Puerto Ricans call perreando.
Which is no bueno.
And we had to go. I went. I was like, yo, this is not allowed here, right? Enjoy the music, you know. You can do the Pentecostal two-step, right? But you can't grind on your girlfriend. This is not that kind of place.
Right.
And then, oh, I'm sorry. And I'll walk away. 5 minutes later, they're at it again. Until I had to call security. Thank goodness for Joe, who is like 6'5", 300 something pounds, who came in like snatched money up. I was like, oh, you were told, now you have to leave. And it was one of those things. So we know firsthand that stuff happens. And we also know firsthand that it could be used as a tool if done correctly. But God never told me. God never told me. God didn't tell us, hey, Jay, you should open up a Christian nightclub at the mall. Like, God never told me. I thought it was a good idea to gather kids that wouldn't go to church under the banner of music, right? The banner, because we never even put it out there as a Christian nightclub. Club
Right.
ATL. We're going to have hip hop. We're going to have reggaeton. We're going to have reggae, whatever it is. And they will
Whatever it
come
is. Yep.
music, right? It was free. They will come for the music and then enjoying the music, getting introduced to new music, new artists, and then me or somebody else will hit them with the gospel message, right? And they will come to Jesus. And then, since I was the youth pastor of a church, they will and plug in and be a part of my youth group. Now, what I don't like about what they're doing is that they're promoting it as a nightclub.
Right.
Right. And then they're wondering why they're getting pushback. Oh, negative comments. No, you're promoting it as a nightclub. It's even 18 plus only. We were open to anybody, right? We were open to anybody. It was family because it was family friendly. If if you were gonna go there and your 15-year-old kid, brother or sister couldn't go, then what's going on there?
Right.
What's
What
going on there?
generation? What generation are you reaching? Right. It's and that's my that's the thing when like because this thing like this announcement or one of their it blew up right on Instagram and all over the place.
Yeah.
And my thing was if because I did a thing, it wasn't successful, but I tried to do this thing called the overflow, right? It was like hip hop, like this is like MCs and we and the idea was just to have kids to come, listen to like some dope hip hop, get some word, like just get a nugget of scripture, like try to encourage. But it wasn't done like, oh, I just want to invite my peers so we can hang out and enjoy this music. Because that's what it feels like to me, right?
Right.
18 plus. Oh, that's so all me and all my friends, right, and my peer group can come together and hang out.
And hook up.
I mean, if you're smart, you also market it as a way to meet other singles. But but I thought the same thing. And but the idea like, oh, networking and all this stuff, and it's like, uh, oh, that's something that you gotta do this. And my thing is once again, right? And Jay said they're promoting it as a club. Oh, this is a club, 18 and over, because we don't go to bars, we don't go to nightclubs, we don't go to this, we don't go to that. And so you could come here. Oh, there will be worship. Oh, we are going to have worship. And we're going to, right? So then it's like they tried to pivot a little bit to be like, oh, no, it's like a crunk church service, a hype church service. I use crunk. That's right. I said I'm old.
Yeah, and even in the comments, they're defending. Oh no, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be more of like a concert, with worship and performances. So then say that, right?
Right.
Say that, and then take off the 18 plus only,
Right.
right?
And that's the thing. If
Make
it's
make it 15,
right.
right? Make it 15. I would make it 15 so you don't have a bunch of children running around if that's not if that's not the environment that you're trying to build, right?
Right.
The aesthetic that you're trying to build. I get it. So make it 15. Right? It doesn't have to be 18 plus, because the minute you say 18 plus and it's at night and and you calling it a nightclub and you talk about, oh, where Christian kids could turn up. See, it's the verbiage, right?
Right.
And then because of that, as a pastor now, see, because what we do now, we do legacy nights. And legacy nights is just the worship version of Club ATL, where in Club ATL, we had the hip hop artists come in and they would perform. And, you know, in those days, as Joaquin said, we would get crunk, right? But it was open to everybody, right? Now it's legacy nights and it's worship. So worship artists, worship singers, because I'm 50 years old and I'm too old to be getting crunk, hype, or turned up, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not.
Um, it's like when Andre 3000 put out an album and people were pissed off because it was a flute album.
A flute album.
And they were like, oh, we were expecting hip hop. He was like, yeah, I'm 48 years old. I got nothing to rap about anymore. My life is good.
Yeah,
like,
talk about an okay, dope. No, but that's the thing though, right?
And my question is, when I started asking, and you and I talked about this again as we were putting this together, who is their leadership? Who are they discussing these things with? Who's discipling them and co-signing these things, right? I'm not saying it's a bad idea, because again, we've done it. We've done it. Did it successfully. What I am saying though is that I had accountability people. I had leaders. I had pastors, right, that I spoke to, and I ran things by them first, right? And we discussed it, and I took advice from my leadership and my accountability people, which basically made up my team, right? So it was me, Joaquin. He calls himself now Sick Flow, right? It was a team of us, and we brainstormed together. I brought it over to my pastors. My pastor said yes or said no. You know, have you prayed about this, Jay? Right? Have you prayed about this? Like when we did the concert at the nightclub, remember? With
777
and Mark J and Angel, right? I got so much flack for that, right? But did you pray about this? Yes, I prayed about it. I feel good. Did you feel good? Anything else going on at that club that night? No. Nothing's going on. It's a Thursday night. They have nothing going on, which is why it's so cheap and open for us. All right. Let's go. Let's pray and let's see what God says. If anything, if not, let's just go ahead. And it was an amazing event, an amazing night. A lot of people came to Christ that night. But I look at their content, I look at their videos, I look at their ads, and I want to know who's talking to them, who's leading, who's discipling them, who are they running these ideas by?
Right.
Because it doesn't seem like it's anyone. It doesn't seem like there's any accountability. And I could be wrong. It's just my assumption based on what I see.
Yeah, we're just going, listen, we get that we're kind of going by what we see, but I think that's something else that we've got to always be kind of aware of when we're trying to promote certain things, right? Is that if we're, you know, depending on how you're trying to promote something, well, how are you getting that message? So, you know, hey, you know, we want to do these concerts, Christian concerts, people to come and have fun and have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm down 100%, right? If Jay was going to be like, hey, you know, this month's legacy night, we're going to have this artist, and we're just going to have fun, and we're all going to have a good time together, and it's going to be a safe environment, and everybody come and we're just gonna, right? We're all gonna enjoy ourselves. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. The idea, it's not that the idea is something wrong with the idea, but it's how you present. God told you. Normally in scripture, when God's telling somebody something, it's for correction, right? It's edification. There's something going on, right? It's not.
Rebuke. Sorry.
What'd you say?
And for rebuke.
And for rebuke. That was the other word I was looking for. Right? Right. So when God speaks in scripture, it's not for the person, it's not for the person that he spoke to be like, hey guys, I'm starting a new temple. Right. So part of it is that right? Or God told us to start a club for 18 and over. Be honest, right? Don't because then those are the same kinds of people that talk about, oh well, you guys, talking Christianese and you talking Christian language and people don't get that and people don't understand that. Well, you're doing the same thing. You're using God to do something that you want to do. Just say you want to do it.
Just say you had the idea. It's not an original idea. Just say you had the idea and you want to do it. That's fine. Again, we did it. We did it. We're not two old guys talking about, hey, what are you doing? Like, we did. If anything, I will reach out to you guys and give you some ideas. Connect you to some artists, right? Like, whatever it is to help you. If it's for outreach. But if you're just using that as an excuse to get a bunch of young people together to shake their butts in the name of Jesus because we are not fun. We don't have fun places to go. Man, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
If you don't,
we're Christians. Who says Christians can't have fun? Like, we have music, we have parties, we have the things, right? The things that we don't do that you mentioned in your promo videos are sinful things. Like, who cares? Oh, hey, I want to go to this sleepover with all these women, but I'm not gonna have sex because I'm a Christian. Like, don't go, right? Don't go. Like, your pulling points is, oh, Christians can't smoke weed. They can't go to bars. We don't drink. We don't get drunk. We don't sin. Right? Hey, as a Christian, we don't sin. So, we're going to build this place where we can have fun, but without the sin. I got to agree with Honest Youth Pastor. And I hate this because I don't like agreeing with him for a lot of things. But that's called church. That's called church, right? A place to hang out and have fun when you're up to the age 18, that's called youth group. When you're 18 and over, that's young adult service, right? That's young adult service. And we've been there. I've been the youth pastor. I've been the young adult pastor. I am now the senior pastor, right? Fun looks different at different ages, but you can't say things like, God told me to build this fun club because Christians don't have somewhere fun to go because we're not getting drunk at bars and we're not smoking weed and we're not having sex and we're not like, no.
I'll go further.
It's bad. I'm saying get some discipleship, get some accountability, get people that'll speak to you and lead and guide you as you're trying to build this thing in LA, right? And proper verbiage.
Listen, I'm like, me and Jay, whenever we hang out, we have fun, right? We have a good time. Here's the thing. If you need a fun place to go to with your friends, I think the problem is you guys. You guys just need fun.
Not only that, but if you equate sin with fun, then you need discipleship.
Or you need Jesus.
Right? Because those are the selling points. Right? Those are the selling points of the ads. Look at the ads. Those are the selling points. A fun place to go because we can't smoke weed. We can't get drunk. We can't have premarital sex or hook up. Those things are called sin. Right? We
Right. And
can't
that's the
sin, so we need a place to go and have fun and do it.
and you know what's funny? And, and you know what's funny? Because it kind of
Get
struck me.
disciple.
It's
Get some
kind of
accountability.
it was kind of funny because it kind of hit me just now. But you know, stuff like this, you know, when people talk about, oh, why can't Christians be creative? You're just copying the world.
Right.
You're just copying the world. You're doing the thing that I would be willing to bet you complain that other Christians, when it comes to art, right? Oh, when it comes to art, Christians, they just copy the world and try to, right? But you're doing the same thing, right?
So,
You're copying something that if you have to copy it if you have to copy it and sanitize it, maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
and then I noticed that they're both artists. So if this is a way for you to market yourselves and promote yourselves, yo, kudos.
Yeah,
Kudos.
you got us talking.
But you know, um, it does seem and sound like you have no accountability and no discipleship, right? And so for our listeners and for you guys, right? I'm going to leave you with this verse.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to leave you with this verse. I know you pulled it up, but I just pulled it up because, you know, right? Galatians 1:10 says this. Paul says this. For am I now trying to persuade people or God? Or am I striving to please people? If I was still striving, or if I was still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. So you have to ask yourself this, right? For this Christian club. What's it called?
Club LA? I don't remember.
Club 217, right? For Club 217. Are you doing this to promote yourselves as artists, to build yourselves a platform as artists to please people and to get your name out there and get fame? Right? Are you doing this to pull people in so that you can please people and give them
A
I'm
cool
gonna
place to go or a cool place to be. Like, oh, this is cool.
right.
You
Yeah.
see, we're Christians and we're cool,
You
and
can have fun. Right? Or are you doing it to please God? Like,
right,
where's your right? And then in the words of John Christ, check your heart.
right.
Check your heart. Where's your heart? Right? Because again, God did not tell you to do this. I know for a fact that you did not hear the voice of God telling you to do this. And I don't even know you guys. And so saying that is a bad thing. Doing this thing is not a bad thing if you have direction. If your heart is in the right place to please God, to reach people. But if not, and give it up, because it's either going to blow up in your face or you're going to burn out or it's going to be unsuccessful and you're going to blame God for it because you think God told you.
Right.
I would rather, to be honest, Club ETL was successful for a long time. And I would rather you guys be discipled in this and have accountability with your pastor, your leader, whoever it is, than to you just throw it all away, unless the Lord is telling you to throw it all away. Right? If the Holy Spirit is convicting you and telling you, hey, this isn't me, then stop it. But if it's an idea that you're passionate about and you think that it's a great space and a tool to reach people, then bring the age down to 15 and market it as what it is, which is outreach concerts at a specific location. And I would even go as far as charging people so that you can book bigger name artists to help. But don't do any of that until you put it under the authority of a leader that is over you, that can hold you accountable, right? That can disciple you through this. Because it's not easy. From experience, it's not easy. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. But, except for this, I got this one more thing. Because we are going to tag you guys in this. So, if you are willing to have a conversation with us, then hit us up. Hit us up. I am willing, or we are willing to talk this out and talk things out. Because I saw you guys try to pull on Ruslan to have this convo. I don't know if he'll do it or not. I'm not going to ask him. Right? But we can have a conversation. Right? And we can clarify and clear a few things up. And if you're open and if your heart is willing, maybe you'll take some advice from us as well, seeing how we were where you are now years ago. And again, we were successful. Club ATL was successful. So now that's it.
All right. Well, that's it. You know what? I got nothing else to add because all I can do is ruin it from here on out. Thanks for joining us. For those of you that stuck with us, as always, we're glad that you were with us. We'll see you next week. And as always, I am Joaquin,
And
aka the Apostle. You see, you gotta. I feel like I'm reaching my my Christian rap dreams. Joaquin, aka the Apostle. Hey.
You're gonna be a part of the of the New Cross movement.
That's right.
You're gonna take over for Fanatic.
I'm Joaquin, and he is still
Jae, a lowly, humble pastor.
We'll see y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.
The balloons.
Thanks for listening. Remember to go to theoverflowpodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and catch up on all the links of the week. And don't forget to follow our playlist on Spotify.